That long ago that both Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were asking for privacy. I know, like the worldwide privacy tour of South Park, yes? But if you remember on their documentary series, Harry basically said that every clicking camera set off trigger things inside him. Meghan basically said everybody has a private right, to a bit of privacy. Odd then to see, isn't it, when you think about it, that of course at their recent trip to Nigeria, they had their own personal photographer and a full film crew in tow. But of course that wasn't enough. Of course it always has to be somebody else's fault. And what happened as he disembarked from, of course, that long flight from Nigeria back to the United States was a massive fallout. Although things began to get even worse. As ever, let me explain. Lovely to see you today, as ever. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join me. We're getting a big group, aren't we? Absolutely. It's nice to have our very, very select friendship group, though. Those that have joined us, and of course I consider everybody that's joined us to be the lucky ones. Yes, don't you? Well, of course. We like to get out and about, don't we? For those that are not fully initiated, of course, with this channel, we don't charge for anything. We're too tight. It's run by a northerner, so we don't like to open the wallet or the purse. Don't worry about that. There's no tip jar, nothing of that nature. You know what I mean. We just like to bring you entertainment, news, and of course the latest breaking royal stuff that's happening in the world today. Now, here's where I find this gets really interesting because, as I say, when you are running a company, it's a difficult thing, trust me, because you employ people to do things for you and you assume that those people are going to take care of it. But as we saw in these very much snatched pictures, which were not meant to go out, let me tell you, but the photographic agency that really get employed from time to time don't really hold any truck with what you tell them. They're out to make money, and pictures like this really do sell very well for that photo agency. Mark my words, very well indeed. Caught off guard there, you've got Meghan Markle, of course, literally clutching a phone like all life depended on it, and Prince Harry trailing in the back looking very dejected. Now, this is all about the negative PR that literally came out, and I've been told from an excellent source that we've not been talking. You know that feeling, fellas, don't you? When the missus decides that it's your fault, you're to blame, you should have dealt with it, and there's silence. And apparently there's been silence in the Montecito mansion for quite a few hours now. So much so that the rumours are abound that Harry literally had had enough, something of a blazing row, and went off to one of those many secret rooms that he has dotted around the Montecito area. I kid you not, and as ever we have to say allegedly. What's interesting to see, the people that follow Harry and Meghan that make quite a good living out of them, I'm talking about the paparazzi, people like that, they know exactly where they're going. And seemingly, Harry in a bit of a fit of fury because let's not forget it's not really gone his way. According to that source, you see, he's getting the full blame for all the negativity regarding the delinquent status of their charitable foundation. And Meghan herself feels that the gloriness of what should have come off from the Nigeria tour is well and truly backfired. Now, you could say it's not Harry's fault, but apparently it is. He's in charge of this sort of stuff. Why would you leave a man who's never been in charge of anything in charge of anything? This is a man who's never ironed his own clothes, booked his own flight, knew anything about a passport, money coming in, bank details. That's the Harry that everybody knows. Seemingly, though, Meghan Markle feels it's one of his strengths. After all, apparently, that's why she married him. He's so smart. Not uttering those words now, I've been told. And as I say, this is really, really shot up like a flame because Meghan feels that whatever she does, something always goes wrong. As I've told you before, I feel a little bit sorry for Harry in some respects because clearly he's out of his depths, doesn't know how to deal with a very fiery woman, and more importantly, he has yet to realise that when anything goes wrong, it can't possibly be Meghan's fault or indeed the staff's. It always has to come down to one person, and apparently it's his job to liaise with the staff. And apparently he told her that everything had been sorted out. You can imagine how well this has gone down so far in Montecito. A little bit like Benifer. How long will it be before we see them clutching hands again to counteract the, shall we say, rather difficult situation right now in the very heart of the Sussex marriage? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.